That's right. That's right. I am back. This is Dr. Dwain Woode, and I am now, how many hours? 24 hours into this week's fast as we move into 72 hours. And I welcome you. Just a quick check in. There were several people that are on this path with me that started yesterday and today, right now, if you started yesterday, you may be an hour or so off, but you are now completing 24 hours in your fast. And if this is your first time, kudos to you. As you know, we recommend that everyone should be able to fast at least for a 24-hour period once a week, and that's where we are right now, 24 hours. There are several people who are going to start their fast today. So you're doing, as we do, a 72 hours. You did a first day, yay, congratulations. If you're doing today, then we are excited for where you are because I get some company. That's right. I'm continuing my part of the fast, and I get some company with you hanging out with me for today into tomorrow. And then we also have some people who are going to be doing our fast starting tomorrow and into the third segment of this fast. So wherever you are, whatever leg you are joining, and then of course there are some people I didn't. Let me hop in and say this quickly. There are some of you who are actually doing more than a 24-hour fast. Some people who are joining us for the entire 72 hours, and kudos to you as well. I think I see Steve out there says that he's ending his fast right now. So Steve, congratulations to you. Go ahead and put in the chat how many hours is that? Is this a 24-hour? If it's 24-hour, put one in the chat, or if it's more than that, go ahead and put the number of hours. So if you did one, go ahead and put one. If you're doing today, put two, and then if you're doing tomorrow, put three, and of course, as always, T if you're doing the total time, right? So T for the total time. So Steve says 29 hours. Man, kudos to you. That is awesome. 29 hours. As you know, just about 24 hours or 18 hours, the body starts to get depleted with glycogen. 24 hours to 36 hours is gone. And so Steve is right in there in the 29 hours. That's a great space to be in. If you saw our show yesterday, you saw what I ended my fast with, or started my fast with, if you will. All right, Cornelia's there. She's saying hello. She's at 23 hours right now, and she's going for the total time. Hey, Cornelia, come on, girl. Let's do it together, right? That's the benefit of community. We get to hang out together. So as I say, birds of a feather. But for everyone who's here, right? So I'm talking about the people who are doing total, but for everyone who's in this space, it doesn't matter what hours you did, whether you do a 16-8 or 12-12 or one meal a day or alternate days. It is so important and so exciting to be doing it in community, right? So community. Cornelia says yes. Steve says 173 pounds this morning. Man, Steve, you get a fist bump for that, man. Boom, there you go. That's what I'm talking about. Now, I am excited when people say to me that they've lost weight. Here today, and one of the benefits that I get to have is that every day I get to walk into my office and I get to go into rooms and I get to see people who may have been struggling with metabolic disease, with weight, with blood pressure, well, not blood pressure, but sugars and all the others, and to have them have breakthroughs. Right? So I get to see that on a daily basis, people who are doing it. And of course, here in this space, I'm always excited when anyone in our community has a breakthrough. And 173 pounds, that's awesome. So congratulations on that, Steve. And so for those of you also who are out there who are having other things, blood sugars are getting better, A1C has gone down. You've been taking off of medications for blood pressure, blood sugars, cholesterol. You went to your doctor and they said, hey, your fatty liver has improved, polycystic ovarian syndrome. You were having difficulty getting pregnant because of PCOS, and now you're conceived. Whatever the benefit is that you got from improving your metabolism, kudos to you because it is a very strong indicator of your desire to be different and to improve your health. Okay. So whenever I see that here in the office and of course here online, I'm very excited about where people are. So yeah, so we're in 24 hours in now for our 72-hour fast. Thank you for joining me, all those who are there. Cornelia says you're welcome. I've shared your story, Steve, and jaws drop. That's right. Um, and I keep saying, I know I've got to do it. I keep saying, so I've got to have some of you come on screen and come and see so you can share your story with the community as a whole, right? So it's great what we do here where we're chatting and you get to type it in, but to actually see you on screen. And I keep saying I've got to do that. We're working on how to do that well so that we get the maximum value from it. So we'll get that done. So yes, and congratulations. For those of you who are now starting, if you're starting now, what did you eat? What was your last meal? We'll put what your last meal was in the chat. If you saw yesterday, my last meal was a salad that I got from, where did I get the salad from? It was, oh, yeah, sorry. It was a Chick-fil-A Southwest salad with grilled chicken. And as you remember, we were kind of out of sorts yesterday. So grilled chicken, went downstairs and got from the cafeteria a mix of shredded cheese with shredded carrots, with some tomatoes, and I think that was all in that with dressing, with ranch dressing. And then I got a hamburger patty. So that was my protein. I do the salad because it gives me the bulk. There was some simple carbs there. I also had the cheese because it gives me the fat, and we already talked about the protein, the chicken and the turkey, not turkey, but the hamburger patty. So those are the components of what I had, and actually feeling pretty good. I am coming out of that, what I ate yesterday, actually my blood sugars yesterday were actually pretty stable, so we'll get to see that. Join me tonight at 9 o'clock when we do our show, and we'll go through and you'll get to see those numbers and see what's been going on with blood sugars post-fast. That's always exciting to me because my goal is usually as I get into the fast that my blood sugars don't spike much. If you remember when we were doing fasts before, and we were getting into that, the C says salad, cup of unsweetened jello, mandarin nuts, so forth, macadamia nuts. Okay, so that was yeah, so thank you for sharing that. There were things that I was eating that was actually causing a spike in blood sugar. So blood sugar would get up to, I don't know, 150, 160 when I eat that last meal. And so I've kind of refined my meals getting into the fast so that I don't have those big spikes. And then on the other end of that, also, when I was eating, ending the fast, I would get spikes into the 150s, 160s. And so in the immediate hours post-fast now, I try to get my blood sugars not to have big spikes. Now, it may spike later when I have more food, but those first 6 to 12 hours, I try not to have that. And so that's why it's important the things that we're eating surrounding the fast. Because as we've said before, most people, when they think about fasting, they're just thinking about, okay, the time when I'm not eating, but they don't consider the eating windows and how that actually impacts the fast itself. Right. So once again, tonight at 9 o'clock, we'll be doing our check-in, so you can see that. And then, of course, moving into tomorrow, as we get to our second day, which we will end at 48 hours. And then starting that fast, for those of you who are out there who are going to be joining us for that third leg, I look forward to that. Cornelia said I had baked chicken, asparagus, broccoli, and avocado. Ooh, that sounds good, Cornelia. Steve says I'm having elevated glucose for some reason. Interesting. And Based on what you just told us, Steve, I'm trying to see what in there would be causing a big spike. Not anything that well, the macadamians of course would cause a spike. Shouldn't be a big spike. The mandarin would cause a spike as well, even though it's unsweetened. So no, you say macadamia. I'm confusing mandarin and macadamia. So pardon me. Um, so yeah, sometimes you just have to kind of bird dog where that may be coming from. Now, one of the things that I'm seeing, and I have not shared this here. I mean, you see my numbers, but one of the things I'm seeing is that since we started doing the strength training back, and today is day what to 39, I think. Since we started the strength training, I have much lower blood sugar. In fact, there are times when my blood sugar is going lower faster because I think because I'm fasting. Well, let me back up. So even when I'm eating, in my eating window, when I eat, when I've been strength training, my blood sugars have actually dropped below 70. And part of that is because of the content of the food that I'm eating. Now here's an interesting point. So you guys know several weeks ago I bought a bunch of Cadbury chocolates. And so one of the things that I've noticed, so I have these bags of Cheetos, right? So I go to the grocery store and I don't buy groceries and bring home, but right at the counter they have the little small, I guess one size serving of Cheetos, and if I eat that bag of Cheetos, my blood sugar will spike up to 160. If it starts, it says 100, it'll try 160. Or if it starts at 60, it'll go up to maybe 100 or so, 120, I'm sorry, 150. But if I eat the Cadbury, then my blood sugar only goes to like 120, 130. And so it's an interesting process to see that and I'm calling it the refinement of the Cheetos, actually causes a bigger spike because my body absorbs that much quicker, and so I get a bigger spike. So that's been an interesting process. And with the strength training, remember metabolic optimization via exercise, the MOVE campaign that we're on, that has actually given me a lot of benefit when it comes to blood sugar. And so that's been an exciting process to see. And we'll talk more about that as we continue moving into the season. But today we are on day 39 of the strength training. Can you believe that? That's right, 39. So that has been fascinating to me, coming off of the 100-day walk to consistency, the bridge to mastery that we did, now into the strength strategy and mindset, and it all ties together. So as I am eating, right, as I'm eating balanced bites, and we talked about that last week, balanced bites, the things that I'm fueling my body with, as I am doing the strength training, and my body is becoming more metabolically active, my insulin resistance is going down, my body is becoming more insulin sensitive, and I'm doing the walking, right? So burning those calories with aerobic exercise, and I'm fasting. I mean, the combination of that series is amazing. So Steve said I did a 50-minute walk yesterday and did weights. Oh, right, there you go, right? MOVE, metabolic optimization via exercise. Okay. So just the combination of things that we talk about in the Health Action Plan is amazing. Actually was contacted recently to do some segments for a location, so we're working on that. Actually, we started working on that last night, and just the concept, putting together the things that we've been doing and talking about the benefit that people will see. One of the things I say to people, and I had a patient, actually someone brought their spouse to come see us. Steve says cardiac rehab this morning and headed to the gym this afternoon. Is that I am so much of the opinion that the way that we think about our disease process has a big part to play in how we manage it. and how we go about doing things. So as you're seeing benefit, and listen, this is that success loop, right? So you start fasting, and let's say we started there. Well, let me back up and let's go through the health action plan. So start walking. Walking for a lot of people is a big deal because they don't walk. They're not very active right now. And even sometimes for some people, depending on the medical issues that they have, walking to the mailbox and back is a big deal. So think about being able to do that on a continual basis without any hindrance, being able to see the benefits that you're getting from simply walking. Because when you start walking, you're just like when you do strength training, you're activating those muscles. And the walking paired with fasting, right? The first pillar, walking and fasting, walking paired with fasting gives tremendous benefit. So you start seeing better blood sugars when you're fasting. The walking is burning calories as well because now your body has to use sugar. So the combination gives better blood sugar. Better blood sugar means less insulin. Less insulin means less spike in my blood sugar, or sorry, less appetite stimulation is what I meant to say. So less appetite stimulation. So we are automatically eating less. And that sequence right there causes some weight loss. And we see the weight loss and we get a dopamine hit because, man, this is good. I love this. I love what I'm seeing. And that now triggers us to want to do it better. And that's the idea behind the competence, consistency cycle, the loop that goes on, because the positives that we see give us positive reinforcement and we're more likely to do it and we become more consistent. And now add on that, right, how we are building this body, building this machine that we have. We're walking, we're fasting, we see the benefits. Yeah, let's do more of that. And then now pile on top of that the benefit that you get from strength training. So not only are you now causing the body to become more metabolically active, but you're strengthening muscles, you're getting better balance, you feel better, and once again, when you strength train, the blood sugars get better, body becomes less, more insulin sensitive, you use less insulin, and we continue going through, right? And then now the stuff we put in. I'm glad to be in the community to hear of this. Thank you. Oh, so glad that you're here, Cornelia. All right? That cycle just continues, and it just builds on builds and builds. And it reminds me of actually tonight we're going to a recital. So my son is in a recital, and listening to him play at home as he's been practicing. Right? So you start off, and I love the kind of music where you start off with just some simple little melodies, right? And you're hitting the keys, and they're quiet, and it builds to this huge crescendo. And that's what this is like for me, because we're starting with very simple things that people can do at home, not any high cost. You don't have to go join anything. You're in your home. You're making those choices. You're making those choices, and they are building on each other so that you begin to see bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger benefits. And so I'm excited about that. Hey, Bowie, how are you? You said your power just came back on. Wow. Okay, I'm assuming that you guys had some storms or so forth. Well, we're in similar areas, so yeah. We had my mother-in-law called last night and said, "Are you guys in your safe place?" In our storm shelter. So that's the benefit. That's the positive. That is the virtue of the health action plan, because it's all building on each other. All right, tier 1, then tier 2. We're going to talk about tier 3 starting on Monday for Dwain Woode MD Live. Anthony says, "Hey, greetings everybody." Hey, Anthony, what's up? What's up? What's up? And so for those of you who have just ended your fast, right, at 24 hours, kudos, congratulations, yay. I need to have some streamers and some stuff, make some noisemakers. Those of you who are starting the fast, you're starting the fast right now as we're doing this, right? You're eating your last meal, or you've eaten your last meal and you are now in your first hours of the fast. Kudos to you. I applaud you for taking charge of your health. And then for those of you who are going to be starting tomorrow, we look forward to having you join us. I'm excited wherever you are, right? Whichever segment, whether the first segment, the second segment, or the last segment. Anthony's saying, enjoying the liquid sunshine here in the DMV, starting my fast. All right, there you go. Come on, that's what I'm saying, right? So I'm excited that you are coming alongside, and I get to journey with you, right? I get to be a part of your journey. There's nothing like community to help inspire, encourage, and to push us to those spaces where we need to be. We are built for community. We're built for connection. Now, our history, society, our circumstances, even sometimes our training and the way we were raised um, can pull us away. And so people say, "Oh, I don't like to be around people." Okay, but I'm gonna tell you, we're built for community. We're built for community. And so community is amazing in its ability to take us places that we could not imagine, or to take us to heights that we didn't think we can go, because we get to stand on and walk with the community as the community encourages us. And so when I hear you say you're fasting and you're starting to fast or you're ending the fast, I mean, for me, that is exciting because I know that I'm in community. Cornelia says, I'm happy for you all, Bowie. Hi, Anthony. Let's go. That's right. Recital sounds really nice. Yes, 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 yes. So he's been practicing. And one of the things that at the last recital that we did back, several months now, what his teacher said was, she said, well, this young man, he doesn't usually play the things I give him to play. So I had him come up with his own. And so one of the things that I've had to learn, and so I took piano lessons when I was a kid, right? And at some point, I convinced my parents that they should let me stop piano lessons. And there are some very talented and actually some famous people who are out there playing that I actually started. This was in New York. I started taking piano lessons the same day as actually this one gentleman I'm thinking about. And so now I see him. I mean, he's writing for stars and he's writing for Hollywood and he's doing all this stuff. And I'm thinking to myself, man, if I had just stuck with it, if I just stuck with it. But so I convinced my parents to not let me just hey, stop, right? And I guess they figured, well, if he's not gonna practice, we're not wasting money on him, right? Cornelius is heading back to work. I hope to see you all tonight. Enjoy the day. So they let me stop. And so my son plays, and of course, he's a kid. When he was younger, he's like, "Oh, I don't want to go. I don't want to practice. I don't want to play," and so forth. And one of the things that I have had to learn, and his teacher, not this teacher, but his previous teacher said to me, because I always wanted him to go to the books and play the stuff. He said, "Let him play the stuff he likes, because if he plays the stuff he likes, he'll get good at that, and he's still learning the same skills. And then at some point he'll figure out, or he'll want to play other things." So we've kind of let him do, and we'll hear him in there playing, the cheat the. So my daughter is trying to learn piano. I learned a little bit to teach, but now plays. Right. So we see hear him in there, and he is learning like old TV show, the jingles. He is a superhero fan, and so he'll be playing the Marvel from the different Marvel movies. He'll play from Batman and Superman, and and so I want him to get in there, and I want him to play Tchaikovsky and Brahm and whatever, or I'll give him something to play. Um, as family say I started, but I didn't last long. Yeah, so I'll give him something to play, and there are times I'll hear him, and he'll start working on it, and then he'll go play something else that he really likes. I said my girl loves Mario background music. It's amazing what they get interested. Yeah, it is. It is amazing. So anyway, so he's there, and so I'm excited for him and to see what he's doing. And he's actually inspired me to even go back, and sometimes I'll get on the keyboard, but my passion right now is the bass. And so if you guys probably don't see it anymore. That's right. I moved it out of the. If you remember the last season, I had a bass guitar that was right behind me, and so I moved it. My wife stopped playing because her father was adamant. Yes, that she, isn't it interesting, right? That the more adamant you are, the less they want, right? So I remember the times we were pushing him, and he was like, "Oh, no," he didn't want to do it, and now we don't even tell him, right? So we'll be at sleep, we'll be nighttime, we're sleeping, and we'll hear music. We're like, what's going on? And he's out there, he's playing. He got up and I guess something hit his mind, and he decided he was going to play. So it's amazing how the mind works, and how the mind works here in this space as well is amazing. The benefit that we get simply by training our thoughts. It's a process. It's a process. One of the things that you've not heard me say recently, but let me reiterate that, and it goes back to the community and practice and so forth, the things that we're doing. When I talk to my friends who are in the military, when I talk to my friends who are in law enforcement, they're in protection, they're in whatever they are, and sometimes I'll ask them, I said, so most people, when they see danger, they want to go in the opposite direction, right? I said, what is it that allows people in the military, in law enforcement, um, that when they see danger, they actually go towards the danger, right? Because you don't want your military running the other direction. You don't want your law enforcement running the see danger and running the other direction. Now, sometimes you do. But I asked them, I said, what is it? And they said two things. They said, one, training, and two, community. So he said, when people first join the military, for those elite forces that they have, you can't just join the force and then all of a sudden they send you out, right? So you are on the force, you're on that team, whatever that unit is, and you guys are rehearsing, practicing over and over and over and over and over. And he said, we move them, right, I think and I forgot now the levels, but what you want is you want a trained team, right? So the team who is starting out, they don't go out, right? Because they don't know anything yet. The team who's intermediate, they don't go out because they're still training. The team who is going out is the team that has the best possibility of success. And so they're always running through the routines so that they begin thinking like each other, right? They feel it. They know what to do. When they see a certain situation, they've gone there before. They've done that before, right? So just like here, when we talk about the COPE model, right? Clarify, observe, pause, and execute. That can't happen in the moment. That has to be something that you are practicing over and over and over and over. When we look at the HEAT model, right? Understanding what the triggers are. When we talk about fasting, right? So you may not be able to fast 24 hours, but you practice and you go back in it and you do it again, and you made it to 16 hours, you made it to 18 hours, you practice again, you made it 23 hours, you practice, you keep making it 23, never to 24, and then you practice again and you make it to 24, and then you extend that. So practice, it takes practice for all the things we're doing. We practice for everything else in our lives. Right? You go on a job, what do they train you? You're trying to get a driver's license. Guess what? You got to go practice. You're playing a piano. You want to play a sport. You're practicing. But sometimes in health, we wing it. Like, oh yeah, it's gonna be all right. No, it doesn't work out. We got to practice. We've got to get into the mode of practice. Number one, they say practice, training, and number two, community. And I said, well, tell me about the community. They said, well, if there's danger, and you know that the guy or the gal next to you has your back, then you're more likely to go in that direction. And then that person that's with you know you have their back. They're more likely to go. So put all of that together, put those people together, and we all got each other's back, right? Now, it is not, we don't see anything anymore that say, okay, well, we can't do that. Because you can lift me, you can push me, you can pull me. If I go down, you got me. If something happens, I got your back. So training and community, training and community, training and community. And so very, very important as we move through this space to be successful. And it is amazing as we're walking through and we're going through the various things, the things you're eating, how you eat, exercising, the strength training that we're doing, the balanced bites, We're going to be talking about rest. We're going to be talking about mindset. We're going to be talking about recovery. We're going to be talking, right? All those things. We're training. We're training the process. And then, of course, here, the community that you are an amazing part of. Yep. So kudos once again to everybody who ended their fast right now, right? So you did a 24 or 23 hour, whatever the number of hours, and you ended the fast with us during the first segment. Yeah. Excited. Those of you who are starting the fast right now with us, we are looking forward to another 24 hours. This is the second segment, and we'll be back tomorrow when we break that fast. For those of you who are there, those of you who are joining us tomorrow for the final leg, come on, let's do it together. And then, of course, those of you who are with us for longer fast or the total fast, I'm so excited for everyone being in this space. As always, I say I'm glad that I'm here. You are an amazing community that I get to be a part of. I get to hang out with some amazing people and see the benefits that you're having in your personal life, right? So now, here's the thing, right? So I want you to remember, this is not theory that you're living right now. This is it, right? So you can say to people now, okay, this is what I'm experiencing. It's kind of like you go and you find an amazing product at your house that you're using, and somebody told you about it. It's like yeah. But now you've tried it, and you get benefits. And man, I don't have to rely on you anymore. I don't have to rely on your knowledge of the benefit. I see the benefit for myself, and so I want to make sure that you are seeing the benefits yourself for the fasting, for the walking, for the strength training, right? All those things that we're doing, the balanced bites. You see it for yourself, and now you have a personal testimony, right? Bowie says my kid is practicing her piano now because we're talking about it. LOL, right? Right. So you are seeing the benefit for yourself, and so you get to be someone that says, "Look, I can't tell you anything about you, but I can tell you what happened to me." And how it has helped me and how this process is working. The Health Action Plan, amazing space, amazing thing to be. It is a blueprint for how we go about correcting our metabolism. Anyway, this is Dr. Dwain Woode. That's Wood with an E. The E stands for endocrinology. Here I educate, I empower, and I encourage you to take charge of your health and your life. Avoid complications and go to the next level. We're creating the life we've always wanted. Go out there and live a limitless life. And we'll see you tomorrow. Well, we'll see you tonight for check-in at 9 p.m. Central on Dwain Woode MD. And then tomorrow we'll be back for a check-in for that final leg. All right, bye everybody. Get back to work, right? Or if you got to go to the gym, or you got to go eat, go cook, whatever you got to do, have a great one. Bye-bye.